Colonel, I'm trying to make my donation at Tiltify, but it says the karaoke incentive is closed. What? A time paradox? I don't understand. What's a VOD? I'll pass the information along to the viewers, but I'm hanging up now.
Well, thank you for that, Snake. Very informative. Yeah, absolutely. We've had a great first day of For the Love of Gaming Marathon so far. My name is Tishri. It is a pleasure to have you here whenever and wherever the sound of my voice reaches you. And I am here with the very talented HammerHeadLabs for an any percent run of Crash Team Racing. Hammerhead, show us how it's done.
All right, hello everyone. Hopefully you've been enjoying day one of FTLG. I am not a stranger to this marathon. I've been part of it a few times, and I'm very happy to be back. So I'd say let's go ahead and get into the run. Are you ready on time?
I am, but I've got an instruction or a request. One more thing before we get started. If you could turn the game down just a little bit more, maybe about 3 decibels, that'd be great.
Right. How's that sound?
I think we're good. I'm just going to wait for confirmation. I'll get my finger on the timer. Alrighty, we're all set.
We're all good? All right, let's go. And 3, 2, 1, go. All right, so this game is Crash Team Racing. It came out on the PlayStation 1 approximately, I think, 1999 or 2000, somewhere around there. But this is the sequel to the original Crash trilogy, if any of you have played that. And basically what the any percent category is for this game, there is an adventure mode, which is actually very unique for kart racers, even now. You don't really see that often. So basically the backstory is there is a green alien whose name is nitrous oxide, and he has come to Earth and wants to turn it into a giant parking lot for his planet that wants to race all over the galaxy. And he challenges Earth, the racers on Earth, to stop it. And so we participate in this tournament, I guess, where you win all the races and you face Oxide to save the world. So the 80% category is just beating Oxide at the end, and that consists of there are 4 hub worlds. Each has 4 tracks each. There is a boss for each hub world, and then facing nitrous oxide at the end. So, and if any of you are keeping up with the math there, that is a total of 21 races to do. And we're gonna hopefully get that done in just about an hour. This first track here is Crash Cove. Really not much going on here, just a big circle, big introduction track. As you can see, we're just kind of dominating the enemies. We're just gonna take this shortcut up here.
So do we pick Dingo Dow for a reason?
Yes, there are actually 4 different classes of characters in this game. There are, let's see, there's turning, balance, acceleration, and speed. The turning is Polar and Pura, while very, very cute. Not the best for this category, or for any of the categories, really. Then you have balance, which is Crash and Cortex. Then you have acceleration, which is Coco and Engine, which are good starter characters if you're ever wanting to run this game. And then you have Dingo and Tiny, which are the speed characters, which are the fastest, but they are the hardest to control because they have the worst turning in the game. But we want to go fast, so we're going to try to avoid any complication with the turning. And I guess I explain how to go fast in this game. If you see me doing these little mini turbos here, this is like the main way we're going to get boost. And there is a invisible gauge in this game called reserves. So basically, if you see that bar in the bottom right, that is basically my boost meter. When I start a drift with one of the shoulder buttons, I start drifting, bar starts filling up, and you want to tap the other shoulder button as close as you can to filling up the bar without going over. So kind of like the Price is Right. And you want to have it in the red. If you have it in the green, you're not going to get a boost. And if you go too far, you're not going to get a boost at all. And then the closer you are, the bigger the boost you get. And that fills up a system called reserves, which is an invisible meter that is not real known to many casual players of the game. And it's basically like adding extra like fuel to your car. So every time I do a boost, I add a little bit to the reserves, and over time it like drains just a little bit. And every time I do a boost, it fills up a little more. And basically what we want to do is just kind of gauge, try to keep the reserves as high as possible, and just not letting it empty out. And you'll be able to tell like kind of how much reserves you have by watching the flames behind the cart. You'll see it here, like when I start going again. You'll see flames coming out of the exhaust pipe, and
When you get a TNT
basically the bigger
crate on your
flames I have, the faster I'm going. There is another speed tech that I kind of did in Ruse Tubes a little bit, that I'm going to be showing off here in Mystery Caves. It's called Speed Ghosting. And basically, the speed that you get from going downhill while having turbo is the fastest you go in the game. And then when you go back to flat ground, you gradually slow down to like the flat ground speed. And basically, when you're connected to the ground is when you start slowing down. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to try to get as much reserves as I can when I go down this hill here. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to bunny hop. And all it is holding one of the triggers and not doing a drift, and spamming the other one. And that pretty much allows me to have as much time in the air and as little time on the ground as possible, so I lose speed the slowest. Another thing that I'm doing is, let me pull this up a little bit. You can see there's another gauge there on the right. That's the in-air boost meter. So whenever you do a jump off the edge of a ramp or like off one of these bouncing turtles here, you'll see it go up, and the higher it goes up, the bigger boost you get at the end. And you can see when I'm speed ghosting here, that arrow is pretty much all the way maxed out to the right. Just kind of want to avoid these flames. Yeah. This level, I think it's a pretty like iconic level. Like I think a lot of people remember this one. Pretty straightforward, not too much. Just kind of a big circle, got the flames going. And then this first warp actually goes pretty quickly. Yeah, another thing about the reserves is that if you hit a wall, you lose everything. If you hit a wall or break, you lose all of your reserves, and you kind of go back to your just base driving speed, and you have to build it up again. So I'll be managing the reserves. There are some times where I purposefully like break around a corner if like I'm not going to make it and I'm going to hit a wall or something, or if there's a boost pad right after where I can immediately get that speed up again.
Congratulations!
One of the interesting things about this game is that there's a whole bunch of stuff you have to like mash through. So like whenever you finish a race, you have to mash through X to get to the loading screen, and then the little podium animation that you really shouldn't see at all if I'm mashing the correct button. You have to mash start to get through that, and then the little Uka Uka hints. You see him pop up there. He's the mask guy that pops up there. He gives you little hints about like what to do in different situations, and you have to mash triangle to get through it. So it's a little annoying to deal with. So this is Sewer Speedway. This is it's reminiscent of the sewer levels in Crash 2. And it's got this pretty fun shortcut up here that you can go up. And I'm just going to try to avoid that barrel. Those barrels are on a cycle. So depending on how quickly you get there, depends on or determines which side of it you want to go on. And you can also get a speed ghost off of these walls here. And if you get it right, it like really like flings you around here. But you can see in the shortcut that I took, if you look on the little mini map, it actually like goes around a little bit farther. So there's actually like a bridge that you go across, and you go like straight across and like around. That actually takes longer than, oh, I barely missed that. It actually takes longer to take the full shortcut than to just drop down early at that bridge. Try to get as much speed off of this wall as I can. Yeah, one of the annoying things about like those walls there, sometimes it just randomly counts as hitting a wall, and then you lose all your reserves instead of getting the big boost of speed. Alright, let's see if I can get the shortcut. There we go.
Very nice.
Oh.
If I could pop in as a casual player for just a minute here.
Yeah.
Like, absolutely no part of this is anywhere near as easy as Hammerhead is making it look. Having played this when I was little, and then the recent remaster, Nitro Fueled, just getting a good feel for the controls and the boost, like even if you're a Mario Kart player and you're used to those systems, the handling is rather different. So bravo to you for making it look so easy.
Yeah, it actually feels so much different than Mario Kart. Actually, like when I play Mario Kart, I'm like very, very bad at Mario Kart. All right, so this is Ripperoo.
I can see it. It's different sets of muscles.
Yeah. This is Ripperoo. He's probably my favorite boss in the game. I loved Ripperoo as a kid, just his like crazy antics, whatever. But yeah, the bosses are something that's very unique to this game. So basically, it's a one-on-one race. It's in Ruse Tubes, which is one of the tracks we already had before. But what's unique about them is that once they pick up one of the item boxes, they get unlimited items based on what their like signature is. So Ripperoo's just dropping unlimited TNT behind him. So we got in front of him early, so which is really, really good. You really don't want to be behind him because it's really annoying. He just drops TNT after TNT. You can kind of hear it if you listen closely to him dropping the TNT and how quickly they're coming out. But yeah, pretty much the big strategy of the boss race is just get in front as quickly as you can. Right. But yeah, you'll see 3 more bosses, and they're all bosses from the original Crash trilogy, mainly from 1. But you have Komodo Joe later on from Crash 2. And they each have different abilities, and they're all annoying.
Oh, of course, they wouldn't be bosses if they weren't annoying in some way. Now, remind me, I feel like Nitro Fuel does the original here? Because it kind of doesn't look like it. Did it have any form of rubber banding? Like, is it possible for bosses to catch back up at the last minute? Is that why you said you want to get out ahead as soon as possible? Or is that more to avoid their item usage?
It's more to avoid the items.
Yeah.
The AI... From what I've seen, I can't confirm this, but the AI, it seems that they do well on like laps 1 and 2, and then lap 3, they just suck. So even if you're behind after lap 1 and 2, you could catch up. So I don't know if it's like rubber banding or just...
Congratulations on opening this new...
And kind of reverse rubber banding to give you a chance.
Yeah. But here we just finished up Hub 1. We're going on to Hub 2 now. This is kind of like the end game hub. There's actually, you can see it like there's a bunch of like grayed out dots, and you get those like later on for getting like relics and different like tokens and stuff. And there's different challenges there are other than just like winning first. So this is Tiger Temple. This is so CTR. There's not a lot of RNG in this game. Besides, like you don't really use items all that much, but this one track, there is a shortcut that is RNG dependent based on what item you get. Luckily, like the chances of getting the item are kind of high, because you need any sort of like projectile weapon. So most likely you'll see like potions, which I got now. And what I'm going to do is just you throw it forward at this wall and it opens. The thing I don't want is TNT. So the first lap I get like one choice, or I get one chance to get a potion, and each lap 2 and 3 I'll get 2 chances. So here I got a nitro. I can't use this, so I'm just gonna drop it somewhere. I'm gonna drop it in here just to increase the chances of an enemy hitting it, because I don't want to run into that on when I come back around in lap 3. So I got the potion there. Alright, yeah, I got another nitro. Okay. Yeah, it's very rare to get 0 out of 3. Most often I get 2 out of 3, and then like you get 3 out of 3 every once in a while. So it's pretty lenient RNG. And the time losses, it's like a few seconds each lap. Oh, I forgot to drop the TNT, so we have to go around the long way. I'm just doing this to show you guys what it looks like. That was the plan the entire time, believe me.
I was wondering about that, but it seemed rude to say anything. Figured you might have been seeding the RNG, something like that.
Alright. Alright, and the next one is Coco Park. Coco Park, I think honestly one of the most boring levels in the run. It's pretty much just a big circle. It's a wide open track. So if you're ever like wanting to like learn this game, Coco Park is like the perfect place just to drive around without having to worry about too much stuff. But if there are any donations, this would actually be a perfect time for it.
Sure. Still waiting on some new donations to read, but in the meantime, I would love to tell you more about To Write Love in Her Arms. September is actually National Suicide Awareness and Prevention Month, and so To Write Love in Her Arms is running a campaign called You Are Not a Burden. You may have, if you've been watching today, seen some of their ads and video productions to that effect. And what that is about is the recognition that suicide is a complex social and health crisis impacting every community on the planet. You know, age, gender, identity, it comes to everyone. But what they do is work to disrupt the belief that struggling with mental health makes you a burden. It is part of their overall mission to present hope and find help for people struggling with depression, addiction, self-injury, and suicide. And they do that both by advertising the mission statement of To Write Love in Her Arms, which is to learn how to, look at yourself in a different way, and also by supporting a lot of other different groups, including suicide and crisis helplines, text message lines, and all sorts of things of that nature. So if that's something that is, a meaningful cause to you, or you'd like to learn more, you can either go to their website at twloha.com, or you can use !charity and !donate in chat to take a look at the options there and donate through our Tiltify. It would be wonderful if you chose to do so.
Congratulations!
Yeah, all right, thank you for that. But yeah, mental health, very important for everyone, and like reducing the stigma on it is
To get a
like
turbo boost.
would be like a huge benefit.
Yeah, I personally, to editorialize for a minute, I think that's, especially after the last couple of years, one of the most important things we could do, because it's become so much more top of mind for many people with lockdowns and everything that people have gone through recently. And that's why we're running lots of fun games and going extremely fast for a very good charity.
All right, well, so this is Papu's Pyramid. If you remember this game at all, or if you're planning on speedrunning this game, this is probably one of my hardest tracks in the game, especially as a speed character. You can see that there's this pyramid up here that you pretty much just go around in like this tiny square. So if you are struggling with this, definitely an acceleration character would be very helpful. I even struggle with it often, but it's pain. And there are 2 shortcuts that I take. This level at the very, very top level is absolutely completely busted. There are a couple tricks that you can do to basically do like full lap skips. And it's basically like doing like a U-turn here at the very start, getting on that wall to the right, and just jumping across the finish line. But it is very, very hard to do. So pretty much only like a few people like actually do the trick. And then we'll actually be revisiting this track later on when we face Papu Papu, in case you couldn't tell from the name of the track.
Oh, so that's why they call it that.
Yeah. All right. So as we go into Dingo Canyon, I guess I could explain the different categories of this game. So there are actually 3 different any percent categories for this game. There's the one I'm running, which is no major glitches. There's any percent warpless, and there's true any percent. So basically, true any percent is I don't know how or why. I actually don't know how or why the other 2 any percent runs work, because they are glitched, like just completely glitched out of their minds. But any percent, you boot up the game, you go into like battle mode with 2 players. You put like one is player 2, one is player 4, and you set all of like you set the only items to potions, and you death abuse like 19 times, I believe. And you do a little menuing, and you warp to the credits, and that's the 90% category. No racing involved. Yeah, I don't know why or how it works, but it's insane.
Would that be considered like a puzzle game, or is it really just an exhibition at that point? There isn't much in the way of gameplay anymore.
Yeah. What's even more mind-blowing is the warpless category, which I think was discovered about a year and a half ago. Basically, what people discovered is that so once you beat the boss of a specific hub, you open up what's called the Crystal Challenge, which you do to get the purple CTR tokens. And pretty much that is, there's 20 crystals lying around a track, or not a track, just like a battle arena, and you have to collect it in a certain amount of time. But there's a way to like store that in the RAM of the game by like, you have to like frame perfect pause, enter, or like menuing as you enter or something like that. And you store that, you go into a race, and in this game it is Dingo Canyon, and you collect one of the Wumpa fruit, and you get a seemingly random item from the game. Either you could get a gem, a relic, a trophy, a key. You can get like the little mark that you beat Oxide. There are like little ways to manipulate it. I don't know. But basically, that category is you beat Papu Papu, you go to that level, you glitch 2 boss keys, and then you go and race Oxide. Completely skipping Hub 3 and 4. It's absolutely insane. And then there is a 101% category, which has which uses that glitch to pretty much get, you know, a whole bunch of items from the game, and then you just kind of go back and like collect what you missed from that glitch. And then they have like the no major glitches 101%, which I also run, which is just, you know, collect everything in the game.
I like it. So you've got the if you've played the new Kirby game, there are vending machines in the hub area where you can choose to buy some of the collectibles that you can otherwise find in the level. So what you're describing with the glitches for items kind of sounds like that.
Yeah.
You can just, you know, pick up anything you didn't happen to get by racing.
Yeah. Yeah.
Nice of them to put in an accessibility mode in the 1999 game.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, you were saying.
Oh, I missed that shortcut. But I remember watching like when that was like discovered. Hypno Shark, he's the guy who has like the record sweep in like all categories of this game. I watched him like kind of experiment with that and seeing how it worked and just being flabbergasted at what we were all watching.
Oh yeah, for sure. I have been privy to similar things in the past. Like I was hosting for the Delta Rune run at AGDQ in January, and about a week before that run happened, they discovered a skip that let you skip literally half the game.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and so the timing for that run, they'd already blocked out the time, and the marathon was about to happen. So what they did was, instead of doing one run, it did 2 different runs. Like,
oh, really?
The first run, including the glitch, and then a showcase afterwards. Yeah, it was fun.
Will be so small. Here is key to help.
All right, so we beat Papu. Now we're on to Hub 3. I think Hub 3 has like a couple of my favorite tracks in the game. Here, we'll unlock the door. But yeah, if you haven't paid attention, there are things on the course that we collect called Wumpa Fruit. Pretty standard for Crash games to have. But what Wumpa Fruit allow you to do, you collect them kind of like the coins in Mario Kart, that they give you, the more you collect, the faster your cart goes. And the way it works in this game is that for each Wumpa Fruit you collect, you get 1% faster, up to 9%. And I gotta switch for that. And the 10th Wumpa doesn't actually increase your speed, it only powers up your item. Which, if you aren't familiar, there's a whole bunch of items in this game that you use. We don't really use them in 90% because we're too far ahead anyway. And we're usually too far ahead that we don't even get hit by anything. But once you get 10, you get powered up items, like the TNT turns into a nitro crate, so they explode instantly. The potion turns red, and if someone hits it, they get like ice physics under their car. So very annoying getting hit by them, but unfortunately we don't use them all that often, except for like the one shortcut in Tiger Temple. Basically,
I mean, it's a speed run. The only item we need is more speed.
Yeah. So like the only items we kind of want would be boost or mask, and we won't get masks in first place, and it's very rare in second place. So pretty much like the only time you'll get a mask at the very start of the race when you're grouped up with everyone. But you can roll boost in first place. So I said Hub 3 had some of my favorite tracks. Well, this is my least favorite track here, which is Dragon Mines. It's a very narrow track with a very annoying shortcut. I think someone explained to me that it seems that they made the track and then they just kind of shrunk it down like 5 or 10%, and they didn't adjust for anything. So it's very narrow, especially for like 8 racers coming through here, and with the speed character, it's annoying. There are these cart cycles that pretty much make or break whether I go for the shortcut or not. Basically, my rule of thumb is if I see the cart go by, I'll go for it, which I did see it a little bit. And I'll go for the shortcut here. Because I just want to avoid, there's a cart that just comes by, and if they catch up to you, they squash you, and you go slow, and it's annoying. One of the other interesting things about this track is that if you jump over the finish line, the game may not count your lap, and you have to do it again. Luckily, it hasn't happened to me yet, because I think about it every time, because I really don't want that to happen to me, but I have had it happen to some friends who have played this game casually and speedrunning.
You madman, you just said that aloud during a marathon. You know what you've done.
I know. Okay, I very consciously think about it every time I play this track.
That's fair. I get that. I am also very much up inside my own head as a speedrunner.
But yeah, actually, the first time I was at this marathon, something like that happened, to where I said something could happen in this game, and it happened. Or not in this game, when I was playing Spyro 2 Reignited. There was something that caused me to have to like re-exit the level because the game broke. It was so not a stranger to things going wrong in marathons.
Fair.
And then we're gonna head into Blizzard Bluff here. Or not Blizzard Bluff. We already did Blizzard Bluff. What am I doing? We're going into Polar Pass. Very cool track. You actually go really fast on this track, because you get there's a lot of Wumpa fruit, so you pretty much get up to max speed really quickly. And there's a fun shortcut and a little trick that I will tell you all about the shortcut. There's a wall near the end of the track that it has boxes up there, so like you should be able to tell that it is a shortcut. But to get over the wall, you need to be going like pretty fast and jump at the right time, because if you jump too early or too late, you won't get the full height of your jump. But something I learned from watching speedruns of this game is that there's a little crack in the left-hand side of the wall that is a lot easier to get through, instead of going up and over like the high part of the wall. And you can go through that at pretty much like almost any speed. Like I've even gotten like hit by the seal and made that jump.
I mean, it sounds like a good solution to having to go, when you're driving, you can just simply go around.
Yeah.
I like it.
Yeah, there is another skip that you can do to like kind of cut this little U-turn section by jumping off the wall to the right there. But hard. Especially for me, I'm very inconsistent at it. But yeah. And then a little bit of ice physics here. Actually, like, ice physics in this game aren't that bad. They kind of just send you, like, just keep going straight. But you do have, like, a little bit of control on it, so I don't find it too horrible. The walls everywhere here.
Chad, is it just me, or does he, like, keep speaking heresies into existence? First, he jinxes himself, now he's talking about how ice physics aren't bad. I don't understand any of this.
There, and you can see, like, I didn't even have like the height. I wouldn't have been able to get over the wall with that jump. But yeah, I think this track is my favorite one of the run. And now we are going on to the longest track of the run, which is Tiny's Arena. Again, there is a skip for this one, but it is very hard, pretty much only done by top level, so I'm not gonna do it. It's basically you put a nitro along the wall, and then you run into the nitro, and it bounces you over the wall, and you do like a lap skip. But it's very hard. and not considered a major glitch. So, but yeah, this track is pretty long. If there are any donations or any plugs, now's a good time.
Sure. So, one of the other things that Threat Love in Her Arms has been helping us out with this marathon, they are actually offering thank you gifts to people for any single donations over $50. When you are on the Tiltify page, which you can reach by using the exclamation point donate command in the chat, or by taking a look below the stream for information. If you, while you're making your donation, you'll see a section with rewards, is what they call them, where To Write Love in Her Arms has generously offered to provide thank you gifts for any kind of, I think it's 50, 100, 200. So we have had a couple of donations at those levels, and I hope they opted into those rewards, which are actually fulfilled directly by To Write Love in Her Arms. So they get your address, they ship things out to you, and you know, you get the warm, fuzzy feeling of knowing that you've helped a charity that means a lot to people at a time like now. You know, helping with suicide awareness and prevention, and making more marathons like this, you know, possible. That you all who are hearing the sound of my voice right now, and of course Hammerhead running, you're the reason we do this. So, you know, anything you are able to give, if you can, you know, take the time to go do that, would be greatly appreciated. And that's what I got for now.
Thank you. All right. So one of the things you'll actually see me start using a little bit more in these later tracks, what are called U-turns. Basically, the way I do them is I jump in the air, I hit brake, and I hit down and the direction I want to turn, and that allows me to turn very sharp, but at the cost of losing all of your reserves and having to build that back up again. But with speed characters on these later tracks with all these tight turns, it's a lot more worth it, because if you don't do it, you're probably going to hit a wall anyway and lose your reserves. So it's definitely worth it to get the tighter turn and better lines than to try to keep what you're going to lose anyway. And this is definitely like it's a, you know, almost a 4-minute track, which is a lot longer than all the other ones in the game.
It's the Wario Stadium of this game?
Yeah, Wario Stadium.
Like
I can never remember if it's Wario or Waluigi Stadium.
Waluigi is the pinball from one of, maybe like DS, I think, is where that track debuted.
Oh, okay.
Or maybe 3DS.
Yeah, I think it just came out on like the Mario Kart 8 Deluxe Pass or something.
Yes,
like that.
the Course Pass. Yep.
Yeah.
But then again, that is also a track that, if you're playing it optimally, I believe involves using the rolling hills to jump over some of the high retaining walls. So, surprisingly similar.
All right, and then now we're on to the next boss of the game, which is Komodo Joe. We're going back to my least favorite track, unfortunately, but
You've beaten all the other racers on these tracks.
but it's fine.
Now you'll see.
Yeah,
what
naturally,
I'm most
your least favorite ends up being one of the ones you have to double dip on.
Yeah,
Earn the right to face Oxide.
but after this one, like, I think all the tracks get like super fun and like really interesting. So, but yeah, pretty soon we're going to go into Dragon Mines again. And Komodo Joe, he's going to have a plethora of nitros and TNT that he's going to try to throw at me. So I'm going to just try to get in front of him as quickly as I can, and I boost there. My boost timing's been horrible today, and yeah, you can get a boost at the very beginning of the track by timing it correctly. Squash there. Yeah, those carts will definitely blindside you. Sometimes, like, you'll think you'll have it, and then it just comes straight from the right, and flattens you before you even see it.
Yeah, as a casual player, I have absolutely tried to outthink the cart since, like, oh, it's probably coming soon. I'll swing over this way. No, I was wrong. It is directly in my path.
But yeah, one of the fun things that they do if you do like if you play the game and like complete the game, that you can unlock the boss characters by doing the gem cups that you do. And one of the interesting things is that there is one of the little fun facts about this game that I really like is so there's a cheat code for a character called Pentapenguin, and in the US version. It's pretty much just a speed character, I think. But I think in PAL and the Japanese version, he has fully maxed out stats. But you can't use him in adventure mode. You can only use the original 8 characters for adventure mode. But he's very useful in like time trials and stuff. And in the original game, they forgot to take out the placeholder audio lines.
We're going to lose.
So it's just some dude saying "Penguin Ye won" as like the actual
That's
voice
right.
line in the game.
I've heard those lines without the context before.
And they
Penguin
actually
Ye won.
Yeah, and they actually
Penguin Ye too.
They actually kept it for nitro fuel, but they had it in the penguin voice, but they kept that little Easter egg in there. Definitely one of like the fun little Easter eggs in this game. But yeah, we're going to Engine Labs. This is actually one of my favorite tracks. And you'll see the introduction of like these super turbo pads. There's nothing visually different about them, but they make it go a lot faster, which is the one I'm going to go off right now. And the secret with them is that you'll keep this speed until you hit another boost, or until you run out of reserves. So instead of jumping off like the end of the ramp, like you normally do at like any sort of ramp to get more boost, I'm gonna purposely not jump, because once I land, I would just go back to the slower boost speed instead of the ultra speed. And I'm gonna hit that same ramp again going the other way, by jumping off early there, or jumping off to the right there to get that ultra. I think it's called like Ultra Sacred Fire, they call it.
Man, that sounds like a cool fighting game.
Yeah. But yeah, you can definitely see how much it propels you forward. And I'm just gonna combine that with those bunny hops I was doing earlier. And you can see how like this far I rocket out in front of the rest of the pack.
Is it theoretically possible, TAS or otherwise, to actually lap any of the other racers?
It is.
Nice.
Oh, I was going fast enough for that. You'll see, I think I lapped some of the races in Papu's Pyramid. I might lap them in Hot Air Skyway. I'll definitely lap them in Oxide Station, because there are like skips for that, and they're not too hard actually, for like even if you're just starting the game. The skips that aren't too difficult. And you can use them to beat your friends at this game. I don't think the tricks are there in Nitro Fuel, but if you do play the original game, use them to beat your friends. So yeah, in case anyone wasn't aware, Nitro Fueled is the remake of this game that was released a few years ago. I personally really liked it. I played it a lot. But always brings me back to the original.
Congratulations!
Sure, I get that. I think a lot of people have actually felt the same way about all of the Crash remakes.
Yeah.
The Insane trilogy.
Alright, so this is Cortex Castle. Another very difficult track if you're using a speed character and you're first starting out. Because if you just look at the map, it's all right angles. And right angles in racing games are never fun. But I'm gonna try to U-turn to get around some of these like sharper turns, and then just manage my lines as well as I can. Yeah, there is something with the U-turns that if you accidentally start the U-turn before you get off the ground, you'll like keep your momentum a little. Like you'll keep your momentum going forward instead of like actually doing the turn. Avoid spiders. Yeah, those spiders can be really annoying if you misguide or misgauge them.
And for anyone who might be arachnophobic, I can let you know when this track is over so you can take a look back at the screen. I know that's something that people can get squeamish about, and understandably so.
This boost pad here is another one of those like ultra turbo pads. I struggle to get like the reserves to make that kind of worth it to not jump there, but I go for it every time just because why not?
Is the technique there down to continuing your drift like as soon as you land, or what's the mechanic that shows whether or not you get it? What's the difference there?
You'll just see that.
Not in terms of results, but in terms of what you have to do.
Basically, I just want to build up my reserves beforehand as much as I can.
Got it.
So it lasts through the jump, because I won't be able to boost it all through the jump.
Right. So you have to have driven cleanly on the way up to it and keep your line good going into the jump.
Yeah. So I fell right there, so I lost everything. Get the boost on the landing. Alright, so the next track is Hot Air Skyway, which is kind of like the first like major skip I guess I'm doing, where I'll skip pretty much like half the lap. It's not too difficult. It's a little hard when you're starting out, but like once you get used to it a little bit, it becomes easier. And definitely a trick that you can do when you're first starting out running this game. But yeah, this is another one of like my favorite tracks. Just I think the music is super cool. It's super like twisty and windy, and just love the theme just being up in the sky. So this is another one of those boost pads. I'm gonna try to keep it there. And then the trick is coming up right here. Come here, I'm gonna turn around right here. Hopefully not get hit by anyone. Just jump over the wall. And that basically skips like 30 to 40 seconds each lap.
Fine. I didn't want to see the rest of the track anyway.
Ideally, you don't want to fall off there, but I didn't make my U-turn sharp enough.
Gotcha.
Yeah. Handful there.
Oh, I don't know about anybody else, but I'm having flashbacks to Rainbow Road, and I do not like it. So too much of this track doesn't have guardrails. It's funny that the section you jump over does.
Yeah, what just happened there is like an interesting thing that happened where I didn't make it over the wall, but it still like hit the checkpoint over there. So where it thought I was
about to ask.
Yeah.
I saw it. Yeah, I saw it placed you there.
Yeah.
So I guess the checkpoint flag or the level geometry extends a little bit past where the wall is, huh?
Yeah. So it counted me as out of bounds and brought me back to the other side, even though I didn't make it over.
Yeah, which is basically what it would have done if you'd been at that point in the track and accidentally skipped over to the earlier section of that, something like that.
Yeah.
I guess it works in both directions.
Yeah.
It's convenient.
Alright, and then that's the end of this one. Now we're going on to Oxide Station, which has another lap skip. So we're gonna skip that one and save about, I think, like 30 to 40 seconds on each lap. So like it may not sound like much, but like over 3 laps, saving over a minute in a category like this is a lot. Especially
Oh yeah, absolutely.
yeah, in a kart racer game where there's no real like routing differences or anything. You just drive the kart and go fast. And like the progression in this game, it's a lot like smaller than a lot of other games. So like my very first run was a 108, and my PB now is a 59. So it's only like 9 minutes off of like my first ever run, and then record's actually only like another like 10 minutes off of this. So here's the
that makes sense.
here's the other skip.
For an hour-long run, a variation of a few minutes is it's a big difference.
Yeah.
You're literally taking 15-20% off the time of the run.
Yeah. But yeah, this is another track. This is actually the last new track you'll see. Because the next race we're doing against Pinstripe, which is on Hot Air Skyway, which is the one we just did, and then we're going to be facing Oxide, and then this is Oxide Station. So we're going to be facing him here. Definitely the coolest track in the game. There is an outside area that you go like outside and like are an anti-gravity that unfortunately we don't see. The run just because we skip it, but yeah, that skip there is just a well-timed jump and a U-turn, and nothing more to it. So it's pretty simple to do. But it makes the races, the boss race, any of like the time trials just completely trivial. And then another fun fact that I heard about this game, I have no idea if this is 100% true or not, but what I heard is that after Naughty Dog made Crash 1 through 3, they ran out of ideas and wanted to kill off the series. So they're like, how absurd can we make this? So they decided to make a kart racer game with a green alien from another planet as the final boss, and they thought it would be so absurd, no one would like it, and would kill off the series, and it turned out to be like one of the best kart racers of all time.
I love it. We're spreading rumors here on stream. To be fair, I have heard similar things about Naughty Dog's kind of laissez-faire early days towards their franchises, and not holding them up as sacred cows, and that's why the Crash games on PS2 and afterwards were farmed out to other developers when the rights were bought up.
Yep. Me first. I'm the speed champion here, and I'm gonna save the world.
Yeah. This is Pinstripe.
Of course.
Of the 4 bosses, definitely the most annoying because he starts throwing bombs at you. And the bombs, he's very good at hitting you with them. And with Hot Air Skyway being pretty narrow, it's hard to avoid them. So I'll probably fall behind him at the loop here, but hopefully I can hit the skip pretty quickly and get in front of him. Yeah, he got in front of me, so then I have to avoid all of his bombs. And when they're coming at you, it's like hard to gauge where they are. Yeah, got hit. I always get hit. Okay. I don't think I went far enough back and the checkpoint triggered. Struggling. Wrong way. Alright.
Yeah, right.
Alright, that's a little unfortunate. I fell behind him again because I missed the shortcut a couple times. So we're gonna have to deal with his bombs a little bit more. But if there are any donations, this is a good place. Good place for them.
Absolutely. We do have a $10 anonymous donation that simply says Dingo Dial Supremacy.
Yes.
And that has gone to our newest incentive, which is for Nick RP Green's run of Unmetal, which is currently scheduled for Eastern U.S. time about 7 p.m. tomorrow, Saturday. So a little less than 24 hours from now. If that incentive is met, Nick RP Green, who you just heard as the host for the last couple of runs, will dress as the main character Jesse Fox for their run of Unmetal. So I don't think you want to miss that. That sounds like a lot of fun.
But yeah, love the Dingo Dial supporters. Dingo Dial is my favorite character growing up, and I've always raced as him. So I actually never started off doing one of the acceleration characters because I like Dingo Dial so much. I haven't been having much luck with the shortcuts on this one, but I've got a pretty decent lead.
Wrong way. There we go. Say good night.
All right, and then we're gonna be heading into our last race here. It feels like I just started this run.
Night.
But we're facing Oxide right now.
All right, let's do it.
But yeah, right here it's just about like a minute of cutscene. Kind of skip.
So, you beat me fair.
I was hoping for an opportunity. I guess I'll take it now to do a Don Corleone.
Here's a key for your troubles.
I've taken the liberty to have that pinstripe removed.
Terraform has finally collected all the trophies to become world champion.
I was hoping to say that while you were fighting against the RNG there, you know, call it a favor from a couple of influential people to get him taken care of for you.
All right, here's Oxide, final boss of the game, and as you're gonna see right here, he cheats.
Oh.
And there he goes.
Of course he does.
Yeah. He's scared. But right here, it's very hard to get in front of him. you're gonna have to avoid all of his items going through. He drops different items throughout the different sections of the track. It's constant which items he does at which parts, but a little bit random in placements. So they come up to the shortcut right now. I'm definitely gonna want to avoid the. He's gonna be dropping red potions. I definitely want to avoid them because they give ice physics, and making this jump with ice physics is not fun. But we got the trick, and we're ahead of him, and the rest of the race should be smooth sailing from here. But yeah, as we get towards the end, I just want to thank you all for joining me here and having me run this game here at FTLG. I ran here a few times before, and staff is always great, always fun people to work with. And then want to, shout out. I see a bunch of the homies in chat too that I love seeing whenever I do a run, and then also, shout outs to the Crash communities. CTR is actually a very active community, and if you want to be involved or anything, there's the OG Crash Games Discord.
Is that literally what it's called?
They have different Discords for the original games up until and there's one for the remakes.
Right, I was hoping it was literally called the OG Crash Games Discord, because I like that. It's very straightforward. You get exactly what it says on the tin.
Yeah. Yeah, I forgot what the actual name of the server is. It might just be called the Crash Bandicoot speedrunning server, and then the other one's called like the Crash HD server.
Makes sense.
But very cool community. Always love hanging around with them.
I don't doubt it. Retro game communities often are, especially the ones for games that might have flown under the radar. I find those are the communities that have some of the nicest people out there, because they, the thing they want most of all is just to share their love of these games with other people.
Yeah. And that's basically the games that I speedrun are the ones I love, have played since I was a kid. So it's always nice seeing new people and people pushing this game. Oh, and this is time, by the way. Sorry.
Oh, good. I think I was just a second late on that. So that being what it is, I think that means your time is 1 hour and 38 seconds.
All right. Not too bad. Not too bad. That's
considering the RNG was about average and just a few misses on skips, pretty nice.
About 50 seconds off of PB, I think. So
nice.
But yeah, love the credit song here. But but yeah,
and how they've amped up Crash's default animation from the regular game by putting an echo effect on it. Yeah. That's very trippy.
But yeah, you'll see all
right,
the
well, thank you again.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Yeah, no, thank you again for your run. Thank you for showing us a fun time here with Crash Team Racing Any Percent for the original PlayStation. For those who might not remember it, but stay tuned, and we will be right back with more games real soon on FTLG Marathon's third online extravaganza.
Bye.